Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and on this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I want to show you how to make the perfect cauliflower pizza. Now, let's be honest, real quick, there is no substituting for a real pizza. If you want a crunchy, doughy, delicious circle of love, then you're going to want to make real pizza. But if you are wanting to find a recipe to substitute that, whether it's because maybe you're on a diet or because you have dietary needs and you can't eat much gluten, then this is fantastic. But I will say this, and if you follow me on Instagram, then you've heard me complain about this for a long time. I have been making cauliflower pizza and making it so wrong for a long time, and I refuse to share a recipe with you even though it's been so highly requested for a long time until I got it right, and I got it right, and this is the best cauliflower pizza on the face of the planet. But there's going to be a few things that are really important that make this so well. Number one is cauliflower. In a lot of recipes, you just see one head of cauliflower. Well, guess what? That one head of cauliflower varies in size. One could be small, one could be medium, one could be large. So what's important is that you have 8 cups of cauliflower florets. You can get 8 cups of cauliflower florets from a very large cauliflower head or from 2 small cauliflower heads. So you want to make sure that you pay close attention to that. Again, a really important part, because if you don't have this much, then you're going to have a very soggy mess on your hands. In a food processor, working in small batches, you're going to add your cauliflower florets and you're going to pulse them until they become finely chopped, kind of like small grains of rice. So you just pulse a few times, and then you place it in a bowl, and you just keep doing that until you're done with all of the cauliflower. Okay, oh, one more pulse. Let's do one more pulse. Or 3 more. Okay, this looks fantastic. You can see I've been doing this in stages, because if you don't, then what happens is the bottom becomes like a mushy puree, and then the top is all uneven and messy, and you don't want that. So to achieve the perfect cauliflower crust, it's not that it's difficult, it's just you need to really go through a few steps. Now, you should have about 8 cups of loosely packed cauliflower rice. So again, really important that you have those 8 cups of cauliflower florets for this to work out as well as it does. Now, step number 2, steaming the cauliflower. I think the microwave works great if you don't want to use the microwave. If you don't use a microwave, all you got to do is put this in a pan with a little bit of water and let it steam for about 6 or 7 minutes or so until it's really soft. So I like to put a plate on top, kind of like a lid. You put a lid on top into the microwave for 15 minutes. After the 15 minutes, this is another really important part. After the 15 minutes, I let it come to room temperature, and then I'm going to pop it into the fridge to cool completely. So I'll see you in a second, but it really will be in a half hour from now, because I want to make sure that this is really cool enough to handle, and I think cooling it completely in the fridge does the job perfectly. So I'm going to pop this in 15 minutes and let it cool completely, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, so let me tell you what I've been working on. I've been squeezing out all of the liquid out of the cauliflower. So it's been in the fridge for about a half an hour. It cooled completely. And then what I've been doing in batches, I take a clean kitchen towel, preferably a lint-free kitchen towel. You take some of your cauliflower. Like I said, you do this in batches, right? It's a little bit messy, but listen, you want cauliflower pizza? This is what you gotta do. And then you just look at all the liquid from the 2 batches I already did. And then you just kind of squeeze, twist your towel and squeeze. And you squeeze all of that liquid out. You need to make sure you get as much of that liquid out as possible, because that's what makes the crust really soggy. So just keep on going, and then put the salad into a bowl, and then we'll proceed. This is what you need to look for right here. Now you're thinking to yourself, how do I get this much out of a whole big head of cauliflower? Well, it's just what works. Look at all this liquid. You don't want any of that. So set that aside. Now, to this, 1 cup, exactly 1 cup of shredded mozz. Not par skim, not semi-skim, whatever, not fat-free, regular shredded mozzarella. You need a 1/4 cup of ground almonds. Now, I have tried to make this without anything, but I just felt like it needed a binder. It needed something to keep it its shape. It needed something to keep it together. And just a 1/4 cup of ground almonds does the job. These are whole ground almonds with the skin, but it's a really finely milled, so you will never even taste it. 1 egg, a good pinch of salt, and some granulated garlic. Now I have my oven preheated to 425 and I have my pizza stone in the oven preheating alongside. If you don't have a pizza stone, you can do this on put a large cookie sheet upside down so it's a flat surface in the oven and preheat that as well and use that much like I use my pizza stone, but I always use my pizza stone. So now you give this a really good mix, right? Mix this at first with a fork and then I just go in with my hands and give everything a good mix, and it will feel like it's damp, but this is perfect. But you see there's no liquid anywhere. That is what you are looking for. Now, next important step. I have a pizza pan upside down so it's a flat surface, and I'm going to line with parchment paper. You don't have to do this, you can just do this on your baking sheet. But because I'm going to slide this on top of my pizza stone, then I have to do it this way. You take your cauliflower mixture, and it seems like it's difficult, but it's not. It's just some important steps to keep in mind when you go into making this for the first time, and then it becomes second nature. You you shape it into a circle, and you want to make sure that your circle is about 12 inches round. You don't want it to be too thick, but you certainly don't want it to be too thin because, again, either would make it all fall apart. So I'm telling you, I've been trying this for a long time, lots of trial and error, and this works the best. You just have to trust me, okay? So just go ahead and work, and you can see I'm using the side of my hand just to kind of shape it, okay? And just keep going, keep on going. That looks perfect. Now I'm going to slide this into the oven, with the parchment, not with the pizza pan, just straight parchment to the pizza stone for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, we'll top it with our toppings, and I'll show you the next step once we get there. All right, that looks fantastic. You can see it's lightly golden all around, which is what you want at this point. Okay, now I'm going to do half white, half red with some peppers and onions. You can do whatever you want, really, but there's always a but. Had to see that one coming. You want to stay clear. By the way, I'm just brushing on some garlic oil on the white side. You want to stay clear of any vegetable that's going to be really wet. So things like tomatoes are going to just make it really, really wet, and you don't want that. You want to keep it from getting soggy. Things like spinach, cooked spinach, you have to be really careful. Cooked peppers, anything that can just draw out a lot of moisture with the heat, you gotta be real careful. You also gotta be real careful about the amount of sauce that you use, because the more sauce, the heavier, the more, the denser it will be, and the soggier it will get. So I have measured that a half a cup for the whole thing is perfect. So here I'm using about a 1/4 cup of sauce for my red side. You know what? You live once, so let's put garlic on the red side too. A little bit of garlic, okay? Because I'm putting peppers and onions on there. And I'm not putting a lot of oil. You can see I'm kind of just dabbing it on. And then you just take your shredded mozz. So again, for the whole pizza, I have found that 1 cup of mozzarella is perfect. Too much of something can make it go horribly wrong. And let me just tell you, I've cried over cauliflower pizza just to try and get it right. So I'm giving you every tip that I have learned along the way, and hopefully keep you from making the same mistakes I did. Okay, and then I just take some green bell peppers. I know you see green, but I actually do like raw green bell peppers on my pizza, but I don't like them cooked. And some thinly sliced yellow onion. You could use red onion if you wanted to. And then this just goes back into the oven for 10 more minutes. I'm just going to hit it with a little salt. 10 more minutes. And then we'll be done. My pizza was in the oven for 10 additional minutes. And now another really important thing, that when you pull your pizza out, place it immediately on a cooling rack. And if your cooling rack is smaller than this, you just put 2 together like this. And there you go. The reason you want to do that is because you want it to give it a good 5 to 10 minutes for it to cool down. But if it were to sit directly on a baking sheet or in a pizza pan, it would steam underneath, and it would inevitably steam and it would fall apart. So I think this is good enough. Let's give this a slice. It's still a little hotter than I would like it to be, but the longer you let it cool, the better your chances are of it not falling apart. But this is It's really hot though still. Look at this perfection. Look at this. Look underneath, if you can. Golden brown. It doesn't all like fall apart into a gloppy mess. I mean, listen. They don't call me the pizza queen for nothing. Delicious. Zero guilt if you're into that thing. The white. I mean, come on. You've never seen a cauliflower pizza that holds like this. You know it. Don't lie to me. And guess what? Cold tomorrow morning with some hot sauce. Oh, breakfast of champions. I'm not saying, but I am just saying. Go to laurainthekitchen.com. I will have the recipe written, step by step, broken down as much as I possibly can. I hope that you give this a try. And listen, I hope that if you've ever been intimidated by making cauliflower pizza because it's gone horribly wrong, I hope that you follow these techniques, these exact steps, because I promise you success. Hope you enjoy spending time with me, and I'll see you next time. I'm gonna get a bite of the white.